In this episode, we will look at some reasons why don't tourists come back to the Philippines. Simon says, been thinking what's missing. What have other towns, cities, and countries got that the Philippines hasn't? Is architecture, interesting buildings, individual features relating to historical areas? Yes, we have beaches, palm trees, and churches, but they're not exactly unique. There's nothing else. Compared to other countries where you can't possibly see all the features, history, and modern stuff in a fortnight, once you've seen one of our nice beaches, you've seen them all. You can build resorts, but you can't build history. The top comment is from It's Madi. And here are some facts to ponder about my observation compared to Saigon. Why perhaps tourists do not, Saigon being Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Why tourists do not want to come back to the Philippines. Keep in mind the minimum wage is less in Saigon than in the Philippines, and so in many ways it is cheaper or as cheap to go to Vietnam. 1. People do not urinate, spit, and blow their noses in public. 2. Amazing roads, no potholes. 3. Clean streets and sidewalks swept regularly. Very, very little garbage, unlike here, where garbage is ubiquitous. 4. No flooding after every rain. 5. Stray dogs and cats, hence no piles of shit lying everywhere. 6. Karaoke, very popular, but noise control laws seem to be enforced fully. 8. Electric cars are everywhere. VinFast is manufactured in Vietnam. Much less noise pollution. 9. Air pollution is way, way less than here. Actually, I did not even feel it, unlike here in Cebu, where after I walk outside, I can wipe dirt off my face, arms, and legs. 10. No dilapidated vehicles in Vietnam, man. Brand new buses, cars, motorcycles. 11. Amazing tea and coffee in Vietnam. Cheaper than the Philippines, even at the 4-star hotel where we stayed. 12. World-class museums, parks, and shops. I have been to many parks around the world, including Central Park in New York City, and so the parks in Saigon are just blessing to be at. 13. Taxi fares are cheaper than here, the Philippines. Cleaner taxis too. And check this out. Airplane tickets to Vietnam is cheaper than the airfare to many places here in the Philippines. My advice to folks who want to live here, you want to be here because you want to serve the people, truly and selflessly love them, help elevate them, and in the process make a better human being out of yourself. And this will take a very long time. And the rewards are enormous as I have personally experienced them. Otherwise, if you want to come here for some quick fun, you do not have any business being here, as it will be perpetual hourly dose of suffering heaped upon you. This was written by this man who clearly has no choice but to be in the Philippines, perhaps married or has children, because he just gave you at least 13 amazing reasons why anybody with a normal brain that's not driven by just a woman would choose Vietnam over the Philippines. Linda Chang says, it's access and how much you can do in a weekend. Think of it this way. Somebody based in Hong Kong can fly direct to Da Nang, Koh Samui, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Tokyo, Seoul, etc. in 3 hours or so and hit the ground running. And you can get a lot done and seen in a weekend. To get to a beach resort, scuba site, historical site is 2 hours flight to Manila or Cebu, and then countless hours changing to domestic flights, ferries, buses, drive to get to the destination. You've already lost a full day for travel to and from about a day left to play. It's not accessible. People thinking of a quick beach getaway will opt for the direct flight to Samui or Kota rather than spend so much travel to Coron. And for travelers coming from other sides of the globe, they can't really easily get around the country in their 2-week vacation. When you are based in the Philippines, you can go to places in Asia, other places quickly via Bangkok, then Manila. Other excellent points. Transportation in the Philippines, it's not just bad traffic, it's accessibility to some of these so-called world-class beaches And where will you stay? How will you get there? What will you eat? How much will it cost you? The price of a flight from Manila to Boracay or other places like Palawan are extremely expensive when you can fly internationally cheaper. It makes no sense for some of us. David says, I am an expat in the Philippines, but right now I am traveling in Vietnam. Affordability is pretty much equal, but the infrastructure in Vietnam makes the Philippines appear every bit the third world country. It's not just that it's the same price, it's actually cheaper and better quality for many things compared to the Philippines. If you've been to Vietnam, it's not even a match. It's not a competition. Mark says, trash, power outs, rampant dogs everywhere, mostly poor quality food and cheaply small portions, noisy massive motorcycles, immigration expenses. Did I miss anything? The news, bad service, expensive, weather. Jason adds, this year the weather hasn't helped. Also, the government banked on the Korean tourism to never change. That was a huge mistake. They outpriced locals and Philippines tourism. They also overbuilt and made everything look ugly and like a city transition. O'Reilly adds, not only do tourists not return, but they tell the tales of the corruption and poverty with trash everywhere. The Philippines is a one-trick pony and a place to be checked off in a bucket list. I don't know why they don't have a direct flight from the States to Cebu and to Clark. Instead, you have to go to the worst international airport on the planet and then be subjected to Manila. Every time I came in from the States, I immediately went to the bus station and got out of Manila. I still, to this day, avoid going there unless absolutely necessary. I could just imagine what the average tourist thinks when they get off the plane and walk out into utter chaos. First impressions means everything, and unfortunately, the Philippines sets a bad example that way. Greg says, tourists do not feel safe here. The government is world famous for its corruption and incompetence. Lots of people scam tourists, from taxi drivers to various retailers, vendors. Toilet facilities in tourist areas are poorly maintained. Besides our beaches, diving spots, exotic islands, Christmas season, and festivals, we don't have much to offer compared to other Southeast Asian neighbors who also have nice beaches and ancient temples that fascinates most tourists. Plus, Filipino food isn't generally well liked by Western tourists. It's an acquired taste. More tourists will come if government knows how to market the country's strength and improve the safety concerns. Tourists should be exempt from the value-added tax also. Plus, a great deal of work needs to be done to make inter-island travel more affordable. The Philippines is expensive compared to other Southeast Asian neighbors. That was written by a Filipino person, someone who understands at least a little bit of the problem that's going on in the Philippines. These are many people sharing their opinions as to why people do not return to the Philippines. Why is it for you? Why do you think that people do not return to the Philippines? Write them under this video. The best comment from yesterday is from Stanley. Women only lie when they are talking. And the worst comment is from Stefan. No, my wife never lied to me. Been married 18 years now, and everything she say is true. Okay, Stephen. Thanks for listening. God bless.